Zon, I guess I'd just ask you about like how you guys compensate or take over with Jalen moving over. You've had such dominant first round talent there. What does it look like going into the spring?
First and foremost, we're happy for Jalen. All the things he's accomplished here at this university. Nobody's surprised at that. We all knew once his time came for him to go into that draft and going to take that next step, he was going to take that on with a full head of steam. And we're all wishing him the best of luck. But here at the University of Georgia, next man up. You heard it all throughout the season last year when guys went down, and throughout the years that Coach Smart's been here, he's built that culture of next guy up. If no matter if a guy leaves, a guy gets injured, who's ever out there on that field, you're a starter. So you just got to find that next piece.
Zion, one of the guys that turned a lot of heads at the end of last year was Bear with how he played. What have you seen from him really since that season ended, getting ready for his sophomore year?
He's taking very big leaps and bounds. He's still a young player, still has a lot of things to learn with the defense and the scheme and things like that. But once he puts everything together, like I've said for a long time, he'll be a really good player.
Zion, in light of the tragic events that happened in the offseason, is it almost refreshing, or is it getting to get back on the field? Is there some kind of a restart that comes with the start of spring practice for you guys?
When you say refreshing, what do you mean by that?
That a pall that might be lifted when now the attention kind of turns back into football on the field?
Um, I don't say it. Honestly, I don't know how to answer that question because different people handle it different ways. Like the other day, we were kind of looking at film, and I just seen my boy Dev, and kind of hit me a little hard. So you have to put those things aside and get back to football. So it was a tragic event, and we all learned from it, and it's just something very unfortunate.
Yeah, Zion Kirby mentioned the outside linebackers as one of the youngest groups on the field, especially with Marvin out for the spring. Just what have you seen from some of those young guys, the guys that have come in early, and the guys that haven't really gotten a whole lot of snaps to this point in their career?
Those guys are really ready to work. When you think of the term Wolfpack, you think of a small group, but very intense, very strong, very well driven. And I feel like from the young guys, from what I've seen, they're very well driven, and they know what they want out of this university. They know what they want out of their young career. So it's just a matter of time throughout spring, just for them to go out and handle that.
There's been a lot of outside talk about Georgia's culture this offseason. As someone in the program, what is that culture and what does it look like to you?
Culture's still growing, man. It's a beautiful thing to walk around these buildings, walk through these halls of the University of Georgia. Um, and coming from the inside, people question our culture and question our character. It's kind of like a slap in the face sometimes, but we know that comes with it. But we just have to keep working and keep working, put our best foot forward, and we're just gonna keep showing that we're the one of those top teams in the country.
Zion, beyond the obvious tragedy, how would you say this off season is different? Maybe going into the spring. I mean, you had 15 guys to replace the year before, and obviously there were some key pieces this time. But does it feel different for you as far as this team and the personality chemistry?
After the tragedy, I don't see anything any different. Guys are still wanting to be around here, loving on each other. Now we're just doing it a little bit harder because it was a tragedy nobody was expecting. So you have to take what you can get out of it and love on their parents as well as Chandler's parents and Devin's. We actually started a little thing where we text them every week. Somebody different from each player position group. We text them every week just to make sure they're fine, make sure they're okay. So we're just doing little things like that can help us along the way as well.
Zion, I want to ask you about Smoke Bowie. Have you gotten a chance to spend any time with him, and how do you think he might help the defense as a transfer?
Smoke, he'll help the defense out a lot. I won't just say him. It's a lot of young guys in that defensive back room that can help us out a lot. So I'm ready to see what they can do this spring.
Zion, what are your early impressions of Jordan Hall and also Jamal Jarrett as they've gotten in and gotten settled in?
Jordan Hall's going to be a very good third down player once he gets everything in hand. He still has a lot. Both of the guys still have a lot to do. Still have a lot to grow. They've only been here for 3 months, 4 months. So it's a learning process for those guys. It's just like everybody came in at once in a part of the time. They were freshmen. They didn't know the defense. They really didn't know how to use their hands, use their feet as well as the other guys. But it's a learning curve. They'll get you.
I noticed the national championship trophy on your arm. Is that a new one? Is that after the first one, after the second one? How long have you had it? And maybe what was the reason why you ended up deciding to tat it on your arm?
This is one from last year, from Alabama. I haven't got the newer one put on. I was waiting to go back in May and get it put on this arm. So line down, you can see them both. So I'm planning on that in May.
Hey, Zion. Kirby had mentioned after the crash that, or I guess since then, that the team has brought in some mental health, outreach, and there's been a focus on that. What has that looked like for y'all, and has it helped you guys as much as it can?
I won't even say since the crash. Since I've been here as a freshman, I've seen him. He brings in Maria Taylor throughout the fall camp to talk to our younger guys about how to conduct themselves in interviews, things like it. We watch different kind of videos during our school sessions where we break down in small groups and we talk about in-house things like that. So I won't just say since the tragedy he's honed in on it. He's done it for the past 2 or 3 years now. So it's just now that we're trying to kind of up the ante a little bit with it, just to keep it fresh on guys' minds.
Zion, you mentioned getting the other trophy on that arm. If you guys go back to back to back, then where's the third tattoo gonna go?
Possibly on my leg. Sadly, that's probably would be the next spot.
Any more questions for Zion?
Yeah, Zion, we noticed you had a couple guys that could have gone to the league that didn't. I guess yourself included. But what did it mean for Cedric to come back, man? You work against him. You get to see him interact with the offensive line. How do the players view him?
Players view Ced as that guy, and he's Ced's been driven to be that guy ever since he stepped on campus, and I truly and solely believe that because he's that voice that you want at the center position of your offense. He's the second quarterback. He tells Carson, he tells Stetson what we're gonna do. So I think he really drives his team, and he really is the piece that we need. And for him to come back for his 4th year, I think it'll only help him. It won't hurt him. So I think this year when he comes back, he maximizes everything that he puts on the field.
Any last one for Zion? Okay, thank you.